We are going to start with the Ansible tool. From the Ansible server, from our project folder, let's instruct the boss server to do something by typing this. Let's now break down the Ansible command that we just used. First, it takes servers or groups. Yep, servers can be grouped together in the target file. Our boss server, for instance, belongs to the all group. So here we can put a server or a group of servers. Second, after the M flag, it takes a function that you want to execute on the targets. And in this example, I tell it to use the shell function. Finally, it takes the arguments of that function after the -a flag. So in summary, we have a simple echo command passed to the shell function, which will run on the boss server. And the output of this command, as you can see, is like and subscribe. However, this time the color of the output is yellow. But what does this mean? Well, we've seen green. It means the command was successful. However, it was a success without any change on the state of the target server. Or in other words, it means that the Ansible tool hasn't executed any command on the target server. Red means error has happened and the command cannot be executed. And finally, yellow means that the command is executed and changed something on the target server. And in this specific example, I changed the state of the standard output of the target server by typing like and subscribe. Anyway, Ansible provides a huge list of functions that we can use. Want to edit a file? There is a function for that. Want to create a new Linux user? Well, there is also a function for that. Want to edit networking settings? Again, there is a function for that too. Despite me calling them functions, people really refer to them as modules. And personally, I do not like the module naming convention, to be honest. Since this is my tutorial, I will continue calling them functions. And later in the tutorial, I'll show you how to search for Ansible functions. But I highly recommend that you remember the shell function. Please remember the shell function. Why? Because you can just use it if you cannot find the Ansible function online that you're looking for. However, this is not the best way to do things. If you want to do something, it's better to use an Ansible function for that. Well, because if you use an Ansible function, it checks if the server is already in that site or not. So if you run the commands multiple times, it will not add any additional change to the server. It will not change the state of the server. I'm going to demonstrate this in the next example. Let's say we want to copy something, some content to the boss server or any target server. We can use the Ansible copy function. So type Ansible, then the target server, which is boss in our case. We're going to use the copy function and it takes two main arguments. The content will be hello, I am a copied content, and the destination of course would be the copy file. So we are copying the hello, I am a copied content to the copy.txt file on the boss server. Note that the copy function takes more arguments, but for the sake of simplicity, we are going to give it only the content and the destination. Before we run the command, let's check the copy.txt file on the boss server. And as you can see, it doesn't exist. So after running the command, as you can see, the copy file is created in the home directory of the boss server with the content hello, I am a copied content. Now let's try to run the command again. We get a green output. So the first time we got a yellow output, which means that Ansible changed something on the target server, which is true. Ansible created a file called copy.txt on the target server and then filled it with our content. The second time we ran the command, it checked if the file is there and if it has the right content. Since the file is there with the right content, Ansible decided not to do anything on the target system. One last example to affirm that we understand the tool. Type Ansible and then the target will be all. It's a group containing only one server at this point of time, which is the boss server. We are going to use the line_in file function, which allows us to edit a line in a file. It takes the line, path, and state as arguments. What we are saying over here is that the line, subscribe for simple explanations of complex topics, must be present in this path in this file. Which means if we run the command and the line doesn't exist, then it will be added to the end of the file. One last thing to keep in mind is that this function expects the file to exist before adding a line to it. Let's check the file before running the command, and since we do not have the line in that file, it's going to be added at the end. Let's run the command. Then check the file. As you can see, the file has now the new line added to it. In summary, the Ansible tool allows us to run Ansible functions, modules, on a group of servers, or even individual servers. However, the servers must be defined inside the inventory file.